Hi dear parents, welcome back to another Math Hour. Today I'm just going to show you how to find a missing coordinate point when you're given the slope. In my previous video, I showed you how to find the slope when you're given two coordinate points. This time we're going in reverse. If you take a look over here, I have two coordinate points. I have r minus 8, I've got 10, 4, and I have already told you that the slope, which is represented by the letter m, is equal to 3. But I need to find this missing coordinate point, this value of r. And how do we do that? There's certain steps we're going to have to follow. So step number 1. First, we need to label the coordinate points. I'm going to start with this side. The r, I'm going to call it x1. The minus 8 will be y1. My 10 will be x2. And the 4 will be y2. Okay? And step number 2, now that I've labeled my coordinate points, I need the formula of a slope. And the formula of a slope is m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay? This is something you have to memorize. So now, what do I do with this formula? I substitute every single value here with some number in my coordinate points and the slope as well. So for example, this letter m, the slope, I already know what it is. It's 3, so I'll substitute it. So m becomes 3. You see that? My y2 is right over here, and that is 4. Minus, and my y1 is a minus 8, which I'll write that in a parentheses. Okay? Divided by, my x2 value is 10 minus, and my x1 value is r. You see that? That is our step. We simply substitute the numbers and the variables in the right spot. Now we can do some math with this. Let's start with the first thing. 4 minus minus 8. Well, minus and minus becomes plus. So that's basically 4 plus 8. And 4 plus 8 is 12. So I'm going to rewrite this. 4 plus 8 is 12. And I'm going to divide that by 10 minus r. Okay? So far so good. We just did the top portion over here. We found that it was 12. Now how do we solve for r? I need to get r by itself. Well, first of all, we got a problem. This is a fraction, and I don't want a fraction. And the only way I can get rid of this fraction is by multiplying both sides by the denominator. And in this case, the denominator is 10 minus r. So I'm going to multiply this side by 10 minus r, and I'm going to multiply this side by 10 minus r. You see that? So what we're going to do here is that this, since these two numbers are exactly the same, I'm just going to cancel it. And that leaves me with just plain old 12. Okay? And this, I'm just going to flip this around just to make it easier. So let me just rewrite this, flip it around. It's going to be 3 multiplied by, and I'll use that blue color again, 10 minus r. It's the same thing. I just flipped it around. So let's use distributive property. Let's multiply. 3 times 10 is 30, and 3 times minus r is minus 3r. And there we go. We have now have a multi-step simple algebra equation where we need to solve for r. So how do we do that? Well, let's see. I need r to be by itself, but right now positive 30 is blocking my way. So let me remove positive 30 by taking the inverse. So positive 30 becomes minus 30. And whatever I do on this side, I've got to do it on this side as well. You see that? Positive 30 minus 30 cancels out. That leaves me with minus 3r. And 12 minus 30 is minus 18. Okay? Now that we got that, let me now solve for r. Let's take another color. Let's do red again. Now notice r has minus 3 in front of it. We're multiplying minus 3 and r together. And the only way to get rid of minus 3 is to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So I need to divide both sides by minus 3. Minus 3 and minus 3. minus 3 cancels, and now r is free, and minus becomes positive, and 18 divided by 3 is 6. And there we go. The value of r, the coordinate point, the missing coordinate point r, is 6. And that is how you find the missing coordinate point when you're given a slope. Let's try another example. I'll show you another example using the same techniques here. Okay, let's try this one. How about -4, -10, okay? And I've got -2 and r. And I know my slope is, let's say, a fraction, 5/2, okay? So I've got my coordinate points, I've got my slope, I need to find this r, this coordinate point right over here. So step 1, let's label them. This is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. Step 2, we're going to use a formula again. The slope is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Step 3, you substitute. So I know my m is 5/2, my y2 is r, my y1 is -10, and you put that in parentheses, and my x2 is -2, and my x1 is -4. You see that? And now let's just do some math. 5/2 stays the same. R minus 10, that means r plus 10, so it'll become r plus 10. Minus and minus becomes positive. And this is -2 minus -4. Minus becomes positive. And -2 plus 4 is just good old regular 2. You see that? Straightforward stuff here. And now, let's see. I got a 2 here in my denominator. I need to get rid of this. So let's multiply this by 2. And I'll multiply this also by 2. Same thing, okay? And as you know, since we got the denominator and numerator the same, 2 and 2 cancels, and that frees up the r plus 10. It's no longer a fraction. And here, look at this also. This also cancels. 2 and 2 cancels out, and we get a 5. And now this is straightforward. We can easily solve for r. Plus 10 is blocking my way, so let's do the opposite of that. Let's do -10 on both sides. Plus 10 minus 10 cancels. That frees my r. And 5 minus 10 is -5. And there we go. That is the answer. I'll write it the other way around. R, the missing coordinate, is -5. And that is how we solve for the missing coordinates when given a slope. Thank you.